Hello, thank you for joining me. I will explain to you how to make a more advanced mod for Minecraft in Fabric. I will mostly concentrate on NBT, how to store data in the save game of Minecraft, and Mixins. So it will be a combination of that. What we will do in this tutorial is make a kill counter. So we will count how many mobs the player has killed. So let's start with the start. What do we want? What is the goal? We want to count how many mobs we've killed. So we need to, for that, add a kill counter to the player. Now the player entity class exists. This is it. It has a lot of properties, but there is no kill counter field. So we need to add one. And the way we do that is by making a mixin. So for that, we will create a player entity mixin. Now a mixin is a way to add functionality to existing Minecraft code because you can't just type in uh, the Minecraft code directly. Um, Now let me just see my notes. All right, so we need to define this mixin first, which will be mix. It will mix in the player entity class. Then we need to extend living entity. We don't have to do this, but I like to because um, this class player entity also extends living entity. So I like to do that. Now we need to create a constructor. And then what we will do is make a new field, the kill count. And now, well, we need to increment that. So we need to make a method called private um, void add kills. We're going to make an amount. Not like that. We need to do this. Okay, so we have this method now, but it doesn't get called. We need to call this method. Also, didn't put in functionality. Right, so this method exists, but it doesn't get called yet. So when do we need to call this? When we kill a mob, we need to call this. All right, so how do we know if we killed a mob? Now there's one way of doing this is from the victim, so the mob you have killed, which is usually a living entity, will have a method called onDeath. And the damage source is what killed it, so that will be the player. Um, so we will make a new mixin, and it will be called living entity mixin. And we need to make it abstract. And we will extend entity, create constructor. Um, all right, so now we need to override, or not override, but inject into the onDeath method. Um, and we want to insert this code at the start, so at the head of the method. So this will be called before the rest of onDeath will be executed. All right, perfect. Now we need to define the method. And we need to define this callback info. We won't use it, but the mixin always needs to have this as the last parameter. All right, so we are in the onDeath method now. Let's get the player from it. So player entity attacker. Well, actually, we can make it. It's not certain that it's a player entity yet. So let's make it the attacker equals source dot get attacker. There we go. So now we have the attacker. So if it's a player that did this, if a player killed a mob, then we can add kills to this player. And we will add 1 kill. But yes, the player entity doesn't have this method actually. It's the mixin that has the method. So we need to encapsulate somehow this. We need to make this normal player entity into the version that has the extra method add kills. Now the way we do that is with a simple trick. We make an interface and we will call it player entity extension. And now the only thing that's going to be in here is the definition of the method. There we go. Now we go back to the player entity mixin and we implement this method. There we go. Now we can't do that. What is it complaining about? Oh, we need to make it public, of course. All right, so now this still doesn't work because this is still not encapsulated. So we need to we're gonna do it quick and dirty, and we are gonna cast the objects to player entity extension. And on this we can call add kills. So we will do that. Now for debugging, we will just go in here and make a system out print line, and we will print kill count. All right, so let's launch the game for the first time. An error. What is it complaining about? Found at inject annotation on, oh right, I didn't define, not inject, I need to define a mixin here as well. There we go. Now it will work, hopefully. I do want to note that you need to define all the mixins in the mod ID mixins JSON. So I have them defined here. All right. So now when I kill a mob, you will see in the console that the counter will have gone up. There we go. Now we have killed 1. Now 2. All right. So now the problem is when I quit the game and I load back in and I kill something else, it will go back to what it was. So we need to save the data now. The way we do that is we uh, use NBT data. Um, Now, conveniently, the player entity has this method called read custom data from tag. And it also has one that says write custom data from tag, to tag, I mean. So the write custom data to tag saves everything to this tag. So the inventory, what's the XP of the player, the score, etc. So we just need to also add our things to this. So we need to add the kill counter to this tag. So we do that with, yes, also a mixin. So let's go back to player. And we do add an inject again on the method. What was it called again? Read custom. I'm gonna go back. Custom data to tag. Let's start with the write. At the return. So at the last, this is the last thing that will be executed. All right, and now we define it. Also, we get the compound tag as a parameter and callback info as it again. So now we just add to the tag. Let's get a key like kill count, and we just pass in kill count. All right, I need to do put int. Sorry. There we go. So now we have stored the data. Now to read it again, we need to do the same thing with the other method. And we do the same thing. So now we just need to get the kill counter, and we need to set it equal to get int of the kill count from the tag. All right, so now everything should be working. Let's go in the game. All right, so let's kill a chicken. You see in the console that it still works, but let's just kill one more. It says 2 now. Now let's save the game and reload. And you will see when I kill this chicken, it also stays at 2 and it increased to 3. And I can do this as many times as I want. Let's go back in. Spawn another one. And it's 5 still. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped. put all the resources I used in the description, and I suggest you read more into Mixin and all that. When you are stuck somewhere, go into the source code and read through the code to learn more. It really helps out a lot. Uh, but anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you maybe in the next one if you request any. Bye bye.